Good morning. So, this is another talk for young artists and artists trying to make connections in the art scene. And today I'm going to be talking about something that might be extremely controversial, and many people might disagree with me. They might think I'm cruel in the things I'm saying, but this is the way I see it. And that is, I'll begin with when you're a student, when you're at a place like Baroda, the Faculty of Fine Arts, there are many teachers there to help you. If you're having difficulty with your composition, say, you can always go to a wonderful teacher. I'm thinking of Indra Pamit Roy right now. He's very well known for being very likable and very helpful to his students. Vijay Bagodi in the printmaking department is another one. I'm sure there's a host of teachers in the school systems and in the art departments at many universities, Shanti Niketan, whatever, who will help you. And that's great. That's their job. Remember, they're being paid to do that because teaching is something that is worth being paid to do. Now, when you graduate and you want to continue your education, there are a million workshops you can go to learn more. Most of those workshops charge money. You have to pay to learn something else you want to learn. Maybe you want to learn how to make pottery. Maybe you want to learn how to carve soapstone sculpture or something like that. You can find a workshop somewhere, pay a little money, and you'll get additional education. I think it's a very bad idea, though, to contact senior artists, and I'm often contacted this way, with inquiries saying, I'm sending you a portfolio of my works. I'm wondering if you can advise me on my compositional style. I'm wondering if you can advise me on my coloration. I'm wondering if you can advise me on how to put more gravitas in my work, something of that nature. Now, I consider myself a professional artist. I'm busy. I'm working. I'm promoting my own work. I'm making my own work. I'm working with my team. We literally work almost every day. Not because I force that team to do that, but because they're happy to do it, because they know that this is a project they're very involved in and they're very committed to it emotionally, actually. When you ask if I can judge your work and give you advice on how to improve your work, you're asking of my time, okay? And to be honest, I don't always know how to answer. I don't have any formal art training. When I was in college, I majored in journalism and in creative writing and in literature. Those were my subjects, man, not art. I was a different person back then. So I really am not an educator. Being a pedagogue is something that you need to be trained to do. And it's a skill. That's why people get paid to be teachers. I don't think that a artist who's working in a professional capacity wants to take the time to educate you. That's the hard fact of the matter, especially if they don't know you. Now, if they know you personally, that can be a totally different story. If they know you personally, they might be very happy to give you suggestions and pointers. But if you're just arriving out of the blue on Facebook Messenger, on Instagram messaging, saying, please look at my work, please give me some suggestions, I don't think you're going to get a positive response. And often I find that young artists use this as a ruse. They're not really looking for constructive criticism. They're not really looking for advice. It's just a way to get in with you so that you start talking to them. And if you actually do give them advice and give them a little criticism and say, well, I think you should maybe change this. Maybe you should approach it that way. Your work seems a little flat. Maybe you should try this and this and this. Your composition doesn't seem quite right. I myself, I often for me, composition comes quite naturally, I'd like to say. And I often use 3-point composition. I mean, I'll have 3 points in the painting that are centered around the main figure. And I know enough that in composition, you want to direct the viewer's eye in from the edges and into the main focal point of the scene or the action of the scene. So these things kind of come natural to me. But when I'm asked this by young artists, and if I actually give a response, then I'm often met with the reply, oh, but I do it because of this and this and this, and they have a whole reason for justifications. And pretty soon you realize they're not interested in learning at all. They're simply interested in making a dialogue with you and in some way getting into your world. Now, even more, some artists will inquire if they can come and join our workshop, join our team for a while. They want to sit with my team and learn miniature painting, okay? Well, there's one thing about miniaturists especially. They're very guarded with their secrets. They don't share easily. Miniaturism, miniature painting is often passed down from father to son, from guru to chela, and they don't share their secrets too readily. They always hold something back because it's something they've taken years and years to learn. They have their secrets. Many artists have their secrets, their secret techniques. They don't want to share those with people because that's what makes their art, their little secrets of how they do it. They're not going to share that with you, in all doubt. So I would not approach somebody like me and ask to come and sit with my team for a while. We're busy. We're busy making art. We're professionals. We're doing a job. I always come back to this. Art is a job. So we're doing a job. We're generally preparing for a show. We're preparing to keep our galleries stocked. We're preparing for something, and we always are working. So to have somebody come in and want to join that, especially with the implication that it's going to be free training, it's just not going to happen. Now, there are artists out there who might be willing to do that for you, and maybe you can find them. And there's no harm in trying, I guess. But I think it's best if you get to really know an artist first, if you become their friend, if you become their dos, their achados, their subse achados, and then ask if you can maybe work with them and learn a few things. They might willingly let you into their studio and show you a few tricks and a few techniques and a few things of how they approach art. But to just come out of the blue, to just come out of nowhere as somebody whose name is unrecognizable, who they don't know, and ask if you can come and work with them or study with them, not offering to pay anything for that, just get free education, it's generally not going to happen. So I wouldn't go that route in trying to connect with art professionals. What I would do is look for the workshops, plenty of workshops. I think Ajay Sharma in Jaipur, if I'm correct, often gives training in miniature painting, but he charges a fee for it, if I understand correctly. And there are other people like that. Even my collaborators, Shrag and Shankar Kumawat, do give simple miniature painting lessons during the season. Somehow they got on the Korean map, and they teach a lot of Korean artists or young people how to do basic elephant, horse, and camel type miniatures, just the basics. And they make a little extra money doing that, giving little courses, and the tourists come and they sit with them and paint while they're painting their own work, which is for me because they're always working with me. So I just want to say that education is a job, and educators get paid. And when you're in school, it might seem like you just have that lovely professor who loves you and gives you so much help and so many pointers. But remember, he's getting a paycheck. That's his job. When you're out of school, not so many people are going to be eager to share with you and give you pointers. So the way to go, I feel, is workshops, maybe a residency, something like that, where you're going to get input. Maybe you're going to learn from other artists your age. Artists your age might willingly share and teach with you. But the professionals who are working with galleries and mounting solo exhibitions, they're not going to be so willing to do that. So I would just sort of cross that off your list. Keep learning. The best way to learn is visit galleries, by the way, and that's going to be the next segment in this series. So anyway, thank you. That's my thoughts for this morning. Bye.